Everybody wants to work in investment banking. The prestige, the money, the lifestyle, but getting in is one thing, staying afloat is another. So what does it take to not just survive but actually thrive in the high pressure world of investment banking? Well, I'm going to break it down based on my experience and what I've learned from friends who work at top tier investment banks. If you're new here, I'm Harris, an investment banker and CFA charter holder, studied at Imperial College London. Okay, the first thing it takes to excel in investment banking is technical skill. Investment banking is one of the more technical parts of finance. It's not the most technical, that's reserved for quant analysts and traders, but still it's very technical. You need to understand how to evaluate a company, including accounting, financial analysis, industry analysis. You need to understand both financial and capital markets, valuation techniques, asset classes and types of instruments such as bonds, loans and securitization, common and preferred equity. Essentially, you need to have a solid understanding of finance on the whole. You also need to build robust and error-free financial models under time pressure. So you need to be a competent modeler, which means a deep understanding of Excel formulas and maybe even VBA. If you'd like to develop this skill, check out my video on how to build a dynamic model in under 15 minutes. The link is on screen. And for a more complete training experience, you can get 20% off Wall Street Oasis's market-leading courses using my coupon, which is in the description alongside the links. Now, as you become more experienced, you become more involved in the negotiation of the legal docs that govern the deal. So your legal knowledge has to develop as well, which is a whole new realm. More broadly, you need to be a very fast learner. You'll regularly be looking at new businesses in new sectors, so you need to get up to speed quickly, and markets, structures and terms evolve, so you need to keep up with these too. What underpins all of this is curiosity. No one really teaches you in this space. You need to be proactive and identify gaps in your knowledge and address them. Now, one way to upskill is by studying for the CFA charter, which is widely considered the best finance qualification around. But more than 50% of people fail each level because they don't have the right strategy, they're not efficient learners, and they don't have anyone to turn to for help. And in the process, they waste hundreds of hours and thousands of dollars on resits. So if you want to avoid this and pass all 3 levels first time without sacrificing your entire life, I have something perfect for you. Check out the first link in the description. Okay, the next thing it takes to succeed in investment banking is attention to detail. And this is a big one. In the world of investment banking, you have millions, if not billions of dollars at stake in each deal. Therefore, the accuracy of the materials used to structure these deals is key. As you may have heard, analysts spend a big chunk of their time putting together pitch decks which go out to clients and focus on 2 main things. Number 1, educating the client on the most appropriate financing solutions for their needs, and number 2, pitching your bank to lead on that financing. Now, given you're trying to convince a client that your proposal is best and that you could earn millions of dollars of fees on this deal, the accuracy of the deck is very important. Mistakes can lead to loss of credibility, wasted time, and client dissatisfaction. And mistakes can be fatal. Depending on how bad they are, you can lose your job because you're putting the bank's reputation at risk. And there's a famous parable that demonstrates this, where an analyst sent out a deck to a client with the wrong slide numbers, and the client said, "I can't trust you to get the slide numbers correct. How can I trust you with my money?" Now, I don't know if this is true, but it tells a story nonetheless. The deck will be rigorously checked by seniors and you'll be made to correct every mistake. It's the same with financial models, because these are used to structure the deal and you need to test various scenarios to see how the company holds up if things go wrong. If you make errors and everything looks okay when in reality it isn't, this is a big issue. Therefore, attention to detail is critical. Make sure you double check everything, have checklists in place, and generally speaking, if you can, review with fresh eyes. The next thing is communication skills, and there's multiple aspects to this. Firstly, investment banking is a quasi-sales role. You need to sell your bank as the best solution to the client, then you need to sell the deal internally to investment committees and externally to investors. Therefore, you need to present ideas clearly and concisely, both written and verbally, in a compelling way that sells. Also, you'll be speaking to a lot of different audiences, so internal teams, senior bankers, clients, and so on, and you need to adjust your communication style depending on who you're speaking to. Communicating where you are on your work streams is also very important. Deals are fast-paced and you'll likely be working on multiple at the same time, so you'll be stretched. However, seniors are also very busy and they don't want to have to chase you. They appreciate people who keep them informed. That way they feel they can trust you and rely on you. And this trust and reliability goes a long way in elevating your career, and we'll talk about this more shortly. Another thing is managing difficult conversations. Investment banking is high pressure and intense. You might get harsh feedback from seniors or clients. You might have to deliver bad news or negotiate deadlines, so managing all of these is crucial. Finally, it's not just about talking, it's about listening intently to the needs of clients and senior bankers so that you can deliver the best possible outcomes. People appreciate people who pay attention to the details. The next skill you need to succeed in investment banking is organization and prioritization. prioritization. One of the most challenging parts of working in investment banking is the multiple conflicting priorities that you have at any given time. You'll likely be on multiple pitches and deals, and all of these have dozens of associated work streams. And these pitches and deals will be with different directors, and every director wants their deal attended to first. So managing expectations, work streams, and deadlines simultaneously is key. There's a few ways you can do this. Firstly, always understand the scope and requirements from your director, including expectations and also deadlines and whether they are fixed or flexible. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. People hate this. Reliability and deliverability is key, so make sure you manage expectations. Communication throughout is very important, especially if things come up that are going to cause delays. People can accept delays if you keep them informed, but if you miss the deadline and don't inform them, they're not going to appreciate it. As a general rule of thumb, client work always comes over internal work. More broadly, you must be organized. Write things down, use trackers or task management apps like OneNote, diarize things, etc. Generally speaking, don't try and remember everything you have to do. There's too much, so staying on top of it is key. And finally, stay composed under pressure. There's going to be moments where you feel like the whole world is collapsing and you're having a meltdown. In that moment, pause, take a deep breath, focus, and identify what the most important task is. Take care of that and then move on to the next. Finally, you need resilience and endurance to succeed in investment banking. Everybody knows investment banking is intense and you need to have a strong work ethic. You're always going to have a lot of work to do, so you simply need to get your head down and get it done. There's no time for procrastination or complaining. And if you can go above and beyond without being asked, despite how much you have on, people will always appreciate this and it will help you stand out. And overall, you're going to need mental toughness to handle the relentless work schedule, the long hours, and the setbacks. And on mental toughness, you need to be resilient. Investment banking involves a lot of pitching and working on things that might not come to fruition. This is part of the job. You have to go again. You can't get demoralized. And even when you are on an active deal, you'll get never-ending iterations, feedback every time you think you're done. There's something more. You can't let this get you down. And at times you'll get some very direct and harsh criticism. Can't take this personally. You have to be thick-skinned and just focus on bettering yourself. And finally, you need mental and physical stamina to cope with the late nights, the weekends, and the back-to-back deals. So you have to find ways to manage your health and avoid burnout, because this is very possible. So ultimately, focus on getting consistent sleep, keep your nutrition up, make some time for exercise and social life where you can. But broadly speaking, I think you need to view work-life balance on an annual basis rather than a daily basis. There are going to be weeks where you simply work all the time and you have to accept that, but it does ebb and flow and there's times where deals are quieter. So when that comes around, take the opportunity to reset and refocus. So there you have it. That's what I think it takes to not only survive but thrive in investment banking. If you like this video, you're going to love these two on screen, and otherwise, thanks for your time and see you in the next video.